How are we doing? Hope everyone is well. It's all right. Sorry I'm a bit late. I was just running a bit late. I just had to nip downstairs quickly. I'm just looking at something now, actually.
Order submitted.
Let's have a look at this.
Order filled.
It's all right. Sorry, I'm just... Sorry. Let me just get my bearings. Okay, I think that's all good, isn't it? Let's have that. Get down, get down. If we can break below this green bar, I think we're going lower anyway. We've had that short-term trend channel, so let's have a look at this. It's all right. Sorry, I'm just focusing what I'm doing. Down, 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 down. Go on, go on, go on, go on, go on, go on. I think everything's okay. Let's have a look. Okay. Yeah, I'm happy now. I think we're good now. I think we're good.
Stop filled.
Okay. Sorry about that. It's I think we're at a new low anyway. Just think about what happened there. Okay, so sorry. Where are we? Sorry, I was rushing around quickly. I think we're at a new low anyway. I missed it. I jumped back in here somewhere. Okay. Let's put that about there, I think. Let me focus what I'm doing. Okay. Right. Sorry. How? Yeah, I was just about to hit the stream button and okay. What it is I've just moved. Let's say hello first. Okay. Hey, what are you doing? Morning, Jim. I'm gonna have to work on this one. Salonte. I think that's right. JJ Productions, dude. Where are you even entering like that? It's a good question, mate. I put it in, it got kicked out, and I went to jump back in. What I was doing is having two pushes up here. So we had the short-term trend channel, one push up, two pushes up. It's actually, if you look at that, that's a second entry. Slightly congested down here, but it was okay in the end. We got a new low. So anyway, Jacko, how you doing, Jacko? Morning all. Nice. I was in that as well. Yeah. Well, after this, we had sort of two pushes up, one up, two up. And I went to get in here and it shot down. I got kicked out. So I got back in it about here. So I got, I think, about, I'll check it in a minute. But I took it anyway. 2 trades already. I did an evaluation, a new evaluation. I've passed the one evaluation. I've just got to do a micro for the next 4 days. So I thought I'd take another one. I'll have a couple going at the same time while they're still on offer at the moment. So I took one. I've done a couple of trades. Basically, I got 3.5 points out of this one and a point and a bit out of that one, I think. I think we're working down, aren't we? New high, try to go on. That's a failure, actually. That's a failure, which is triggered, isn't it? I'm going to leave that at the moment. It's gone a little bit sideways. It would tick down anyway. Sorry, I'm a bit flapping today. I had to run around earlier. Where are we? Morning. Grandpa Roger. Sorry, I was all a bit flapped and a bit panicked there. Okay, deep breaths. Now, do I sound okay? What it was is I've just changed my software. I've just changed to a different software for streaming. I was using Streamlabs. This is OBS, the newest version, and I was messing around with it over the weekend, and it seems a lot clearer. The picture seems a lot clearer. But obviously I've had to readjust my sound settings, so I don't know. Does the audio sound okay? Everything sound where it should be? Hopefully it does. So, hope everyone has had a good weekend. It's all right. I'm not myself at the moment. I've got flipping awful toothache. I had a little chip on my tooth about 4 or 5 weeks. Well, in fact, it was a bit longer. It was before Christmas. And I had a little bit glued back on, and I think they've drilled in a little bit too deep because it seems to be touching a nerve. So I've just had a flipping week of painkillers. So I've managed to get an appointment for tomorrow morning. So I've been panicking around a bit and flapping around a bit. So, okay, so 2 trades. I like that one. Push up. I recounted that one. Second entry right off the key entry point. Came out about here. But it went up quite a bit actually. So I hope everyone has had... audio sounds good. Excellent. Pictures should be nice and clear, hopefully. I'm just trying to improve things, make things a little bit easy to use. The streaming's a lot easier to use. The old version of the OBS, you had to go into YouTube, copy the stream key, drag it over, put it to the set. It doesn't do that now. So, okay, so let's focus on what I'm doing here, and then we'll get back into it. So market is obviously open. Second entry short. I kind of like that. Let's have a look. I like that.
Order submitted. Order filled.
Okay, I like that. Just going to come back into here. Let's not be too greedy. We've pushed out of this range. And it is a second entry short. We've sort of retested these tops, see what happens. 6, 7, 8, 9, 3 points there. Maybe I've jumped the gun here a bit. Let's have a look. Let me give that one extra tick. Come on down. Going sideways, pushed out. See what happens. I might have got a bit too carried away there. Which was silly because I started off so well. It's all right. My head's a little bit fried at the moment. I'll sort myself out in a minute. Get myself together. Bars are very... yeah. Your bars are different. I'll reload my... let me just get this sorted. I'll reload my historical data. I think I'm going to get shafted here, I think. Let's see if it does come down. If it breaks below here, well, we'll see. I'm tempted to get out of this, I think. Okay, I'm all right with that now, considering. Let's just give it a bit of room to breathe.
Stop filled.
Am I jumping the gun here or not? I think
Order
I am,
submitted. Order filled.
Second entry long off the key entry point. Looking for a new high. This is either the best start in history or I don't know what I'm doing here. We've had this short-term trend up, break, 2 legs down. Let's have a look. We seem to be going up at the moment. We've had that push, break. Let's have a look. I was tempted to trail it, but let's just see if we can, let's just go for something like that. All right.
Stop filled.
Okay. Well, that was a bit odd. It did what it was supposed to. Yeah, sorry. I should have left that alone, to be fair, although it worked. And, you know, when you get yourself in a little bit of a flap. Okay, yeah, that was the trade. That was definitely the good trade. 100%. So I've done 4 trades in a matter of 15 minutes. That's a bit weird. At least I'm up $700 or nearly $800. Okay, let's get myself back down to earth now because I don't want to... Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, that one was early this morning. But 3 trades literally within 15 minutes, less than 15 minutes. That's a bit weird, isn't it? You took the same 3 trades, did you really? Okay, that one, well, okay. That one I actually got in here. I was looking for the break in Nulo, which we got it. I got in about here. So I got a little bit out of that. We had a push up. Now, let me just think what I was thinking here. Okay, so we've got a short-term trend here. Now, it's hard. It's hard to see how you read that, isn't it? But it was a bit odd that. I'll leave that like that for now. But to me, that was a break out of this sideways stuff. And yeah, it wasn't the best trade, I don't think. But well, I don't know actually. See what you guys think, but I managed to get a couple of points out of that. But thinking about it, that was the best trade there. Second entry. To be honest with you, that was a lovely trade. That was. We got the short-term trend. We had a break. 2 legs down to a new low. But, I still can't think clearly. Your first 2 are invalid when you reload. Yeah, oh, I see what you mean. Shall we do it and find out? Let's have a look. I've done that before. I've took a lovely trade, something like that before, and I've reloaded it, and it looks bloody awful. I remember Marco going, what the hell were you thinking when you took that one? So let's just reload there. Oh, dear me. Oh, dear me. Dear me. I usually, now what I've started doing is having 10, 15 minutes on the chart and doing a few breathing exercises. See, that one looks like a bag of... let's have a look. Oh, my Christ. That one looks okay. That bloody hell, they are different. That one looks terrible, doesn't it? Good grief, okay. Christ. Why did you make me say okay? So that one, would I have taken that one? It's hard to say, isn't it? The trouble is another couple of ticks high, which is, it might be on someone else's chart. Anyway, it worked. That one was the only one that looked worthwhile, didn't it? But that one, I don't know. It is what it is, isn't it? The trouble is I'm going to post these later. In fact, I won't post them later. Because I'm going to get crucified, I think. Oh, Bennett. I did, yeah, there was a couple of more bars in there. God, they worked out different, didn't they? See that one? Look at that. Look how much we got left of the lows. I'm just gonna get rid of that one because it looks bloody awful. I don't even know. Anyway. Okay, second entry long. To be fair, that one earlier this morning looked like a nice trade and it clearly went up, so I'm okay with that one. That one, it worked, but I've just got myself. I usually get myself settling down a bit, but it hasn't happened this morning. So let's have a look anyway. Let's calm things down a bit. So right, I've been rushing around this morning. I've just had a really busy morning. We've got a little bit of money coming back from my mum when she passed away. So we'd gone into the bank, sorted it all out, took a load of details in. That was 3 weeks ago. Money was supposed to come through this week, and we now had another letter saying the information's been lost in transit between, I don't know. So we've now had to spend half the morning on the phone sorting things out. And, I've had this toothache and that. It's just been a funny old morning. So I was panicking and flustering a bit when I came in. Okay, so at least we're not sure why that's showing that. Strange. Oh, that is odd. Okay. Yeah, glad it worked out. So, who have I missed? Ahmed, how you doing? Well, you took those 3. Yeah, brilliant. Glad they worked out for you as well. Jack, how you doing? Toad, how you doing, mate? Toad. So I'll just call you Toad. It's easier, isn't it? Glad it worked. Yeah, okay. So, yeah, so the one evaluation's passed. I've just done a micro on that one. So that will be... I've got 4 more days on that, I think. So we'll work on this one. I don't know why that's showing like that. I got no idea. I'll sort it out later anyway. Okay, so hope everyone is well. Yeah, I've just had a busy weekend. I've been trying to sort the channel out, make it look a bit, because I've noticed when I've been looking back, the picture quality seem to have dropped for some reason. And I don't quite know why, so I just did a load of YouTubing and a load of stuff. The trouble is, when you're trying to figure out this streaming software, half of it's 2 or 3 years old, and obviously they've been updated. So I've noticed the 2023 version of OBS come out a while ago, and there's quite a few videos on now on the settings, so I spent some of the weekend sorting that out, and hopefully the picture should be clearer. And what I'm going to start doing as well, I've had a couple of requests for just to put down the time stamps on the trades in the descriptions, because some guy said he didn't have time to sit through 3 hours. To be honest with you, if I look at some of the traders, I just literally grab the scroll bar and move to the side. But I'll start doing that, putting down the information probably from tomorrow in the description down below, so you don't necessarily have to suffer 3 hours to find out what the trades were. No, let's keep that away, I think. I'm trying to not draw, because I did initially draw something like that. But I'm trying not to now. I'm just trying to focus on these short-term trend channels. Yeah, that looks completely different, that does. It was a nice second entry there. I don't know what's happened here, but strange. But that one was the trade of the day so far. That was a corker, that was, right up to the top. That was a really nice trade, that was. They don't look any better than that. Short-term trend channel break, 2 legs down. I like it when they have 2 pushes down, 1 push, 2 push. That was an engulfing bar right on the EMA. Beautiful. Right, it bounced off the sort of top of the overnight highs as well. So that was a good trade. That's as good as they look, I think. I don't think there's a channel here. I thought there might have been a bit of a spike in channel, but it doesn't fit. Sort of, well, maybe it does. I don't know. It's almost more going more sideways. I just got to be careful of this. Let's remove it for now and treat it as a bit of a range, with a slight upward bit. Okay, so yeah, I hope everyone's had a good weekend. You guys had the Super Bowl, didn't you? I've watched it a couple of times before, but I forgot I wasn't aware it was on, and then my stepbrother was up north somewhere in a pub watching it. So I suppose you guys have had a busy weekend. I take it the bars are looking a bit like yours now, are they? I usually do start that off actually by right-clicking and reloading the data, but I forgot this morning. And what I'm going to do as well is add a little bit of background music over the next few days. Just something quietly ticking away, drown out me. Yeah, what I'm trying to work on is I'm trying to work on my trade choice. I'm staying more out of this shit now and going for more this 2 legs down, short-term trend channel, 2 legs down, new high. Same as that, short-term trend channel, break, second entry, 2 legs down. It did look better than that, but it looked a lot better than that. But you know what I'm saying, second entries. I'm trying to focus on this and not trying to find longs and shorts when it goes like that. Trouble is, you can go long here, you could go up, tick you out, and come back down. Or you could go short here, it might tick down and come out and stop you out. So I'm trying to stay away from this stuff if I can. Look like mine now. Bummed I missed that second entry long. This one there, yeah, it was a nice trade. That was a really nice trade. They don't. That's sort of well, as good as a trade looks. Maybe about a 9 out of 10, maybe a bit more than that, really. Short-term trend. 1 push down, 2 pushes down. Engulfing bar, nice big positive bar, right off EMA. EMA's facing upwards. Obviously, we didn't have this sideways stuff, although I was aware. Look, the highs were here, but I came out of it about right, I think so. Okay, so all good so far. So nice start. Those are bread and butter. Absolutely, yeah. I mean, we've had such a lot of this crap lately. All this stuff here and all this stuff here. If you can just wait for a nice trend like that, break, 2 legs down, nice big, signal bar, push up, make 3 to 4 points, whatever you want to do, and same there. If you can just patiently wait for them. I mean, look, even if you went for say 3.5 points, that'd be a cracking trade. That would. And say this one, even if you went for 3.5 points, well, you got a limit order. I mean, look at that. There's your 3.5 points. You comfortably got out of that even before this high, and that had 2 pushes up. I'm also trying to focus and get used to working out these 2 legs as well, because it's a good indicator. Let's say there's one leg there, say another leg, something like that. It's not fitted beautifully, but you can see 1 leg up, bit of a pull back, another leg up, same there. Maybe 1 leg up to the middle, another leg up, or it's probably going to work out something like this. But I'm trying to focus. I've been watching a little bit of the gorilla guy, and he focuses a lot on these 2 legs because it's a good indication of where the market's going to turn if a trend channel's played out. And I'm trying to stay out of this because it's this stuff that gets me into trouble. Picking tops and bottoms in this, if I was to pick that, say, I mean, obviously it came down, but we'll pick this as the bottom. Obviously we went up, but I'm just trying to and focus on the really obvious trend, the obvious trades. Yeah, so these can get confusing. That's where that's supposed to be, isn't it? 1 leg up, there's a bit confusing there, sort of thing, isn't it? I'm going to get rid of them because what I tend to think is a push up, a little bit of sideways and a push up again. But it's more up than sideways, isn't it? Yeah, see, that's the type of trade I'd pick in the past. 2 legs up, new high, pushed out of this. But at the moment, we're coming down, we're moving up. So those are the trades I'm trying to stay away from. Yeah, like you say, Toad, yeah, the bread and butter ones. If you can just patiently wait for things like that. I mean, look at that one and that one. Even if you can get 3.5 points each of that, I'd be over the moon. 3.5 points twice a day, $700 a day. That's a stack of money for 2 contracts. It really is. Trouble is, the market's been so crap lately, isn't it? I mean, what a start that is. It's a lot easier to read, isn't it? You know what I mean? We've had a push up, break, new high. Push down, break, new low. Push up, break, new high. It's been very straightforward and a lot less of this stuff. We're obviously going to get a little bit of it, but a lot less. So I just need to focus because I managed to build an account up to like $7,500, well, $7,600 at its highest. And that doesn't include the 3 I managed to build up from the evaluation. So if you join the 2, that's well over $10,000. So I am capable of doing it. I've just, with the way the markets have been lately, I've just tried to find trades in here when what I should be doing is sitting back. These are the times to sit back and have a chat, aren't they? When markets are going up like these are the times to start to concentrate, to wait for a break. You know, when we're doing short-term trends, but when we're doing all this choppy sideways, that's the time to stay out. I'm going to err on the safe side there. Might all be 1, but it does look like there's a bit of a break. It might even be, that's probably better, maybe. No, let's put it back. It looks a bit neater there. Yeah, because we're coming over a bit and over again. I'd like to err on the side of safe there. Definitely seem to have some sort of a move up. I don't think it's probably a bit early to start. These can get me in trouble sometimes, so I'm not going to worry about this too much. Focus on the short-term stuff. If we were moving, you know, if we were trading 30, 40 points, then it might be more important to get the bigger stuff in. But I'd rather focus on the small stuff. Yeah, those 2 beauties, absolute beauties. Okay, if you can count this as 2 legs, it's probably a bit of a messy 2 legs, I've got to say. I mean, usually where you have the break of the first leg, you're counting that leg. In fact, yeah, if you're counting that leg, you will be coming down to here, really. You can't come down to here, because if you're classing that as 1 leg, it's a whole 1 move. And then when you come down here, you come down to the lowest. So, yeah, that's better. Okay, so this may be a target. Maybe. This is starting to look like a little bit of a spike in a channel. I would say so, yeah. Yeah, I'm just trying to focus on the small stuff, and the big stuff should take care of itself, hopefully. It does look like a bit of a spike and channel there. I mean, it's fitting quite nice, isn't it? Touch nice there, touch nice there, touch nice there, there. So, who won the Super Bowl then? Who was actually in it? Someone should know. I remember the first time I watched it was Super Bowl 20. I was over and based in Northern Ireland at the time. And it was, if I remembered, it was the Chicago Bears and the New York Giants, I think. Super Bowl 20, I think it was, or 21. Super Bowl 20, it would have been around the middle of the 80s, around about 85, somewhere around there. First one I ever watched. Big up, Trent. Yeah, there probably is. The only trouble is, mate, is I'm trying to avoid them at the moment and worry about that later because Chiefs and Eagles. Chiefs won by 3-3. Great game, excellent. It does fit nice. Trouble is the bottom doesn't. I think it's okay to leave it though. Once, twice, 3 times, 4 times. Yeah, I think it's okay to leave it just for reference. Let's have a look here. Just for the bottom reference, really. Okay, so we haven't made a new high there yet. So let's see if we can put 2 pushes down and have an even better day. Okay, so that's actually, there's your first entry. They're all the same height, they are. Let me just double check. Yeah, they are. But there's a small dip there, so we got a break. Try that once. See if we can get something down here. I'm not convinced that though. I'd rather see what happens. I'd rather 2 pushes down here, really. It is classed as a first entry, but not only by about a tick, I think. Now I'm up. See, this is where I want to. This is where I want to. This is where I want to focus now and not screw it up. It's actually a long game, isn't it? I know our cup final's 45 minutes each way with a 15-minute break. Yours, doesn't it go on for about 4 hours or something, doesn't it? Okay, 1 push down. I prefer not to count that as a push down. Well, you could call that a second entry long, but you can't take that. I prefer to come down here, really, I think. Okay, I like that. Now let's come down further. You could count that, or you could count that as a hidden. That's a hidden second entry. I want to push right down here and then nice and bullish. If we can, let's get an order ready just in case.
Order submitted.
Needs to be a good signal bar for me to take this. You can count that. So there's a first entry. I need to come right down here. And some more. Keep going, keep going. I prefer to come down more, really. That's better. Now push up. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. A bit more would be nicer. I prefer to get right down here and have a nice big stem up and then a big pinhead there. Be nice. I mean, that's a hidden second entry. If it works out nice, it's also a real second entry because you've got you can reset that or count it. I kind of like that now, so come a bit more would be nice. But that's enough if it gets bullish. Two legs down. Try and get a few points to the top if we can. Signal bar is quite a nice size, so that's good. See how we get on here. Come back, come back, come back, come back, come back.
Order cancelled. Order submitted.
I missed this. Come back. Come on. Come on, come back for daddy. Come back. Lovely signal bar. Nice second entry long. Come on, come on, come on. Oh, meet you in the middle. Come on, come back, come back, come on, come on. Actually, I'll go. It might come back a bit. Let's have a look. Oh, you shitter. Come on, come on. Anybody take that? That was a nice trade. That was another nice trade. What a bummer. Nice second entry long. You count that as one. Second entry long. Really nice, that. Another nice trade. I like that. That was a hidden second entry long and actually a real second entry long. That's a shame.
Order cancelled.
I don't often miss them. Oh, that's a shame. So what you got out of that? You would have got, you'd have got 2.25 points on right up to the tops. Oh, dear. You were too slow. Yeah, same here. You couldn't get in. Yeah, I mean, well, it did jump straight over, didn't it? And then it started going. I don't tend to use limit orders. I do like them, but I don't tend to use them. And now I know for the trade copy, they don't like limit orders. So look at that. Is this going to be a second entry long? Oof. Would you take that? It's tempting, isn't it? Let's see what it looks like.
Order submitted.
Something I don't like about that. Something I don't like about that. The way these are sitting side by side. It's a bit barbed wire, isn't it? I don't like the way it's gone up there and strongly pushed down. I try and, if I get that feeling, I'll try and stay out now if I can. There's something I didn't like about it.
Order cancelled.
If I get that feeling now, I've got to stay out of it. I just don't like the way you've got those 3 bars sat there. Your big shoot up there, shoot down. I mean, it might go, but something doesn't feel right. I mean, we haven't had a new high, but we've made an equal high. Good decision. Something just didn't feel right. Just the way there. Sometimes when you push up and you spike back quickly, and then you push down, you spike up. You get those 3 together. Something didn't look right. Now, 1 push down, 2 push down. This could be 2 legs. Let's have a look at this. See if we get a measured move. Maybe we might get another one. I don't know. Something just doesn't feel right. I've got to say, when I leave these things alone, I feel good about them because something didn't feel right, and sometimes your instincts. So this is a second entry long off here if it works. I'm just trying to think. There may be some shorts trapped there, see? So this might be a good place to go long.
Order submitted.
We've had a measured move. 1 leg, 2 legs down. Let's see. This is a preferable one, I think.
Order filled.
I wanted to. It didn't tell it. It's ticked higher. Let's go back there. All right. See how we get on here. I mean, that could be a possible failure, but I think as we've had 2 pushes down, I think we're likely to go higher now. If we can get above here, there'll be some traders trapped there, and there'll be some traders trapped there, so I might just pop that there. Hope we can. It's only a 2-point risk maximum, so it's not terrible.
Stop filled.
Yeah, I should have stayed out of that. Okay, it was only 2-point risk. It wasn't that bad. That might have been the better trade. I did think it was a possibility, but after we'd had 2 legs, I thought it was 1 leg, 2 legs. I didn't think it was that bad, actually. But what did Chaco say? Trap time. Well, yeah, I mean, that one I left. I thought that might be a trap because I don't like it, but that way, after we've had that, then I don't know. Okay, so that wasn't terrible. It was a maximum of a 2-point risk. So what's that one, wasn't it? So okay, yeah. As soon as it's triggered off, I thought something. Yeah, I'm just wondering whether this will be the push now. 2 legs, or is that? Okay, so it's not terrible. Yeah, this is the one that pushes up, isn't it? 2 legs. In fact, it's just been a little bit more than 2 legs, I think. Oh, actually, 2 legs is nice there. That's the trade that's going to push up there. See if we can get in on a lower high. Let's get a limit order in here.
Order submitted.
On a lower high. Actually, quite a small bar, that. That's only 2 points. It hasn't gone up as high as I wanted to.
Order filled.
That is a perfect measured leg right to under there. So I would say if it's going to go up, it's going to go up from there. Okay, maybe this will be a higher low. Or a lower high, higher low. See, that's the trouble sometimes with getting in on this line, putting this out early, but I think that's the one that's going to go up for sure. That finishes bullish on top of that. I like the look of that. That's the lower high. Tempted again on that.
Order submitted.
Let's see how that finishes. Okay, high or low.
Order filled.
Now we need to get above this one, I think, really. Put that there. There's going to be some shorts trap here, I'd say. Yeah, it has gone a bit congested. We've pushed down and we've gone just a little bit, but I think we'll be all right. We can get above here. That's what make me a bit happier. Let's put it back to this original one. Well, this has gone disastrous. Yeah, I know. See if luck gets us out of trouble. If we can get above here, I'd say there's going to be some stops there. I'm going to get out of here, I think. Once more. Go on. Go on, get above that red one. Okay.
Stop filled.
Gotta count myself lucky there. Okay. Time for a breather. I think it's likely going to push up there now, but that was a bit of a... I've got to stay out of this shit, I really have. Okay, I think it's likely we're going to... well, we've had this short-term trend. I mean, someone said you are forcing... Yeah. I usually have a plan. I'm calling that as a spike in channel. We've had a bit of a spike in a channel. We've had a break. 2 pushes down. This is 2 measured legs. Let's have a look. 2 clear measured legs. Don't look like it. Oh no. Yeah, two legs down, and then we're pushing up. I just got in the wrong point. I should have waited for something like that, really. The failure would have been a better option. I went on the higher low. To me, it looked like 1 leg down, 2 legs down, and the higher low, but the higher low triggered and came back and stopped me out. But I think that the failure was the better option. But yeah, let's have a look. You can probably say adjust that a tiny touch. Okay, seems to be all right. Fits there, fits there, fits there, fits there, fits along there. Sometimes though, you will get a little bit of sideways stuff before it eventually pushes up. See, I saw 2 legs down. Okay, now that obviously isn't a setup as such, is it? Because we got try to go once, try to go twice. It's not a second entry or anything, but I took that as a higher low, thinking we get back up the top, and I think we will. But then that triggered and came back and stopped me out, and I brought me stop back to below here because I still assumed it was going up, so I deemed it worth a risk. But and I'd say we are going to push up, but it's just slowly, wasn't it? Yeah, I mean, what I'm seeing here is a short-term trend channel. It looks like a spike because that fits in lovely. So we had a break of it. Yeah, we haven't had a new high yet. So we had 1 push down, 2 pushes down. Nice bar off the EMA. The only trouble is it's below the EMA and it's not a second entry. It's a third entry. So I waited for the higher low. And yeah, it is a little bit congested, but it is a little bit here. And then when we get back to the EMA, it pushes up again. Same in. A little bit congested. As soon as we get back to the EMA, pushed up again. But I'm pretty sure this is going to make a new high without coming down lower than this or this. But I was just that focused on getting in on the trade. I didn't think about there's some congestion. Sometimes there is congestion and sometimes it'll work and sometimes it won't work. But let's just get back to reality. We're getting some sideways stuff here. Let's put that there. I think touch. That's probably the better option. Let's remove this thicker one here. Sorry. There. Okay. Yeah, the way it's looking to me, it's almost definitely going to push up. Sometimes it'll do it, but sideways. If you can get in the right part here, that obviously that would have been the better trade. The failure. And yeah, it is congested, but a lot of times it will, depending on how it finishes. We had this strong and it went sideways to the EMA and then started moving up. And it's fitting nicely, so I'd say without doubt that's going to make a new high. Unfortunately, I got in on that one, which probably wasn't the ideal one. That would have been the better option, or if I'd had the balls, just for the pure fact that that's off there, and if I was willing to be a little bit aggressive, that would have been the one. After we've had 2 legs down. I thought I measured that as 2 legs down. Yeah, it sort of is, isn't it? It's a tick off touching the bottom. This will be the new high coming shortly, and I expect another half decent push up. It is sideways, but then usually when we come down to it, that's where it starts to go then. Yeah. It comes on new high. I'm guessing it's going to get a bit of a spike as well because there's probably going to be some shorts there. Maybe, yeah, I don't know. Usually when you get them lined up there, there's 5, 6, 6 there, 7 there. You might get a quick pop. I used to take these sometimes. I used to have a little order here with just 1 point, and I used to, when it used to push up like this and stick it exactly the same point, I used to put a little order over here just for a point. See what I mean? There's your quick point, and well, you'd have got 2 points out of that, I think. Used to work quite well. So if you had an order there, you'd have got a 1.5 out of that. I used to do it with a point, and quite a lot of times it used to work because whenever it does, back up here and back up here and back up here, and it does eventually go, you get that quick release of pressure, don't you? Yeah. Yeah, I think what I misjudged there is I shouldn't have took that one. that would have been the better option. Would have been the failure, which went up, came back a bit, went up again. I tend to not worry too much about the congestion if I can see two clear legs. So for me, that was a leg. For me, that was another leg. So we had that bar, and then I took that one. Now, yeah, you can say it's a little bit congested, but the thing is, with this, it goes sideways. As soon as we get back to the EMA, it ranks up. Same here, sideways. Well, I mean, we're on the EMA here, but you know what I'm saying. A little bit congested, but when we come back to the EMA, off it goes. I'd have been better off waiting for that one, I think. Maybe taking it on a limit order. Right, let's have a little look. Yeah, we seem to be getting quite a nice trend today. It's fitting that bottom line beautifully at the moment. Let's get that midline in. Okay, yeah. Yeah, we fit right nicely here, along this bottom of the midline. So we're here now. We may get a strong push over the other side of it, but I expect one leg up, another leg up. Yeah, see, it's times like when we have these, I do think about holding on to some of these trades. Because they usually do quite well. Go for a walk and have a plan. My plan is I've got some single malt whiskey downstairs. It's all right. To be fair, I've probably got a little bit too excited here because it's been a while since we've had this many opportunities. A beautiful setup there. It was just almost looking like it. I mean, if that, we'd have one leg down, two legs down. If that would have been a little bit more bullish, I think that would have been there. But obviously, it's not a fantastic thing. I mean, if I'd have been watching the Gorilla guy, he'd have taken that on a limit order for sure. That was a small bar, that one. He'd have seen two legs back. That's what he tends to do, and he rides them, he does. So he'd have taken that one. I've got no doubt about it. And if he had taken that one, he'd have been up to, what, 7.5 points, and he'd have rode that up here. I am trying to think about more long-term, picking up more points. I was chatting with is it Karina, one of the girls on the Facebook group. She mentioned about sticking to 2 points, but the trouble is there's so much more than 2 points on the table. If you'd have taken this trade, way more than 2 points. Taken that trade, way more than 2 points. Taken that trade anywhere around here, that one, or that one, way more than 2 points. And I think there's just so much more left on the table to take than 2 points. I think, in my personal opinion now, you need to be looking at minimum 1-to-1. If you look at people like the Penguin guy, he only ever doesn't take less than 1-to-1. In a lot of cases, 1-to-2, so he'll take 2. The Gorilla guy never trades for anything less than 5 or 6 points. Taylor from Top Pick Trading takes 4 points. So 2 points, I think you're doing yourself out. Now, the beauty about going for a minimum of 1-to-1 is you can get yourself out of trouble pretty quickly. Now, I watched a video of one of the Gorilla guys' trades, and to be honest with you, he picked 2 bottoms, something I was guilty of. And both of them, he picked a bottom here, and it lost. He picked another bottom straight again lower, and it lost. So he was down 6 points, he'd taken on limit order, and then he took 9 points on one, so he had 2 losses and a win, and he was up 3 points. So I think there is, on the good trades like this, that was a good trade. No two ways about that one. Obviously, the bar looked a bit better when I took it, but look at that. That went up for 13.5 points. Even if you'd have followed these green candles out and come out there and it'd have come and got you, you'd have had 11 points. 11 points. So if you're, I mean, really, if you're taking 2 points, that's more than the equivalent of 5 trades there. So if you're taking 2 points, you've got to take 5 trades minimum just to get what I could get out of that one trade. And same with this one. If you'd held on to that one, Sinus moving up. I mean, look. Maybe you should have took it up to the top here before it swung back. That's 4 points there. Or if you'd have had the nerve to take it up a bit, you know what I mean? There's so much more points available, especially if you can get in on a move like this. This could just keep on going, this could. Where was the next highs? The next highs were the day before, well, Thursday. So it's a personal thing. I think scalping 1 point is a waste of time now, personally. Maybe for an experienced trader like Mac, who might take a point here, but have the confidence to run it up, that's fine. But just see it, if you'd taken 2 points there, it just doesn't make sense to come out there. Look at that. It's a quarter of what you could have had. It just seems like you're robbing yourself, and same with that one there. If you'd have, another great trade, if you'd have come out in 2, look at that. Sorry, there's 2 points. And look what you know what I mean? So I think realistically, this is a personal thing for me, but I think 1-to-1 minimum now is the key. I think you've got to go for 1-to-1. I mean, that is what, it's quite low at the moment. If you've got to tick above it and tick below it, that's not even 3 points there. Not even 3 point risk. So I think you can, but I suppose the more you do it, the more you see these trades. Every trade you take, you think, okay, that went for 13 points. That went for whatever. That went for what. You'll soon get it in your head whether you want to change or not. Yeah, I should have left that one alone. It was looking a bit barbed wiry. Yeah, I mean, even that was the failure. I thought you may have even had maybe some shorts in here, but when it triggered up, it didn't really do a lot, did it? But moving your stop to, yeah, I know, mate. Do you know what it is? I'm on an evaluation, and that's why I got to get it out of my head. Valuations are costing me the equivalent of about £27 English. And the reason I moved it is because I was pretty sure when we got back to here, we were going to be working up, and I took it there, and I thought if I move it back to the previous swing high, yeah, at the moment I'm risking myself an extra point, but I thought it was worth it because after 2 legs down, I was probably 80% certain that we were going to be going up, which is why I moved it. Now, I know what you're saying. You shouldn't really move it. It was just because it started looking a bit of congestion. I took it back just to the previous swing high. Yeah, I know what you're saying, mate. I know what you're saying. Yeah, I know what you're saying, mate. I was just starting to realise what was happening there, which is why I moved it, because I thought the closer it gets to there and this line, it's going to be moving up, and it did what I thought it would do. So, in this case, it saved me a loss, and I've done it a few other times, and I would say over 50% of the time it saves me, and I take usually more than 1-to-1. So in it's saved me more money than lost me money. But yeah, it's not a good habit to get into. Would I have done that on a PA account? No, I wouldn't have done. So we seem to be getting quite a nice trend up there, don't we? It's fitting lovely there. Obviously, we had that initial push high. Now, whether we'll eventually push over this half and move up here, but we're certainly moving up to this second leg. See, if you've got the confidence to believe this is a first leg and this is another leg, and you take a trade along here, I mean, you could theoretically run it up, couldn't you, if you had the confidence in doing it? But I suppose that reading these charts, just you become better and better, I'm assuming, the more you do it, the more you see this stuff play out day after day. Fortunately, I can trade full time because I work weekends and I work long hours weekends and get time and a half for it, so I can afford to trade Monday to Friday. And obviously we're in the UK here, so markets still open to 2:30, so it's a lot easier for me. Incidentally, guys, this 80% off finishes tomorrow. So I have got a code there if you're interested in taking one. It doesn't cost you anything more. That's the only reason I use it, but I do get a kickback from it. So if you are taking an evaluation, I'd appreciate you using it if you would. Unless you watch someone else and you take it from someone else, that's fine. But while the offer's there, you might as well take advantage of it, which is why I got one. I don't know why they don't just keep 80% off, because I see how many they sell, because I see how my affiliate link goes up. When I get 80%, I get about 5 or 6 times more links than I do at the 50% off. So obviously they sell way more at this. So I don't know why they don't just keep it at 80%, to be honest with you. But yeah, if you are taking one, then that's my code then. But it's up to you. It's up to you. But while it's there, it finishes tomorrow. I think the end of tomorrow. I think. And I am going to start putting some videos out as well, sort of cut down versions of my trading days. So I haven't had any videos up to now. It's all been live. So if you're not subscribed, if you subscribe, you will get a notification when I post one. But what I'm going to start doing is breaking things down and showing just the trades, make it shorter for people. Okay. Yeah, I've got to stay out this barbed wire, haven't I? Spikes at the top, spikes at the bottom. Yeah, it's not going to break below here though, I don't think, is it? See, I think we could say that's a break, couldn't we? The only trouble is about second entry long is what I see. Well, I suppose you could say one leg down, 2 legs down, couldn't you? although it didn't break. I don't know, I can bring myself to take that. It just it didn't tick below here. I prefer it to push down and finish here somewhere bullish. It might, if we've had a break, it may go a little bit more side before it pushes up. It's hard to say, but I think that's a bit risky for me anyway. It might not pop straight out of here, so if you do take that, you'd be lucky to get a point to the top of there. Don't forget it's Valentine's Day today. Make sure you get your cards and your flowers. Otherwise, your lives will be made miserable. I assure you, I've been out and got mine. Trouble is, when you have kids, you've got to get two lots. I've had to get my wife some Stargazer lilies. I've had to get my daughter some roses. And I've had to get them chocolates for both of them and cards for both of them. So don't forget. Probably going to push up, I'd say, but I don't like that. Sometimes it's just, sometimes you'll look at something, it won't seem right, and it's probably a picture that you've seen and taken a trade before and got stopped out at. So you get used to seeing that picture, don't you? It probably will go up, or we may get a higher low and then it'll push up again. But we have had a break and it's sort of bounced here 3 times, isn't it? So, but that's just, I don't like where it is. There's not much room to the highs, is there? I mean, at the moment, it does seem like it's running out of steam, this, doesn't it? It's pushed up to this midline, and then we've come back, and it hasn't got up very high. Now, it might shoot straight up, but it does look to me like it's running out of steam, which is another little concern of mine. We have this a lot later, and we push up, sideways, push up, sideways, push up, sideways. But it does seem like it's losing momentum. Even just to get back to this midline, it's going to have to push up like a bloody rocket. Trouble is, I could keep flexing that to make it fit, and it sort of does, but the trouble is, where do you stop to keep going? You keep going? I mean, it might even, but it's always possible that it could be something like, no, it doesn't work. Maybe even something like that. Let's have a look. Trouble is, would you call it a spike and channel and go there? It's just so hard to say, isn't it? Usually it's off the first 2 swings and it kind of fits up until a point, doesn't it? Trouble is, you can constantly keep adjusting it, but I kind of like it there, because if you see there, along there, it's sitting on that middle line there, it's sitting on the middle line there. So that tells me that's sort of running in the right place. And it goes from these 2 swings, doesn't it? And it has come out a little bit, which is okay. Right. Okay. So we have popped out the top here. So it has gone. It was probably going to, but it's a little bit. I am watching my phone as well. I was having a chat with Nick. Yeah, it was probably going to go. It's off. We've had a bit of a break. It's off the key entry point, and at the bottom of this thing, so it's probably going to go one leg up, two legs up. So, yeah, it didn't seem right. Sometimes it's frustrating because as much as you know it's very likely going to go, you stay out. Same with that one, really. We had two pushes down, higher low. As much as I thought it's going to go up, which it has, I probably got in a little bit too early there. Got stopped out. That would have been the better option there, although it's still congested. I think in an ideal world, you'd have probably left that one as well because it's congested. But looking on the bigger picture, every time it does come back there, it is going. So I think if that was a limit order and it triggered, if you got back in, that was the failure which triggered. If you'd have managed to get in on a limit order, then it may have been worth the risk, that one. But ideally, that's sideways, and you probably should have stayed out of all that. As much as we know it's likely to go up, and it's actually pushed up stronger than I was expecting. That it's coming up to this measured move. Yeah. Okay, so we'd call that a break. I think it's all we can call it now, isn't it? Let's put that there. Yeah, we'll err on the side of caution and call that a break. It's just almost up to this measured move, isn't it? As I am reading it at the same time. Okay. So usually what I do, I was a bit flustered this morning. I had a bunch of things to do this morning. I've had this bloody toothache. So usually I set the computer about 15 minutes and I watch a couple of these relaxing videos on, but I was running around and panicking to get on the stream this morning. So hence me a little bit erratic in my trading. Fortunately, the market was quite clear. So it was quite kind to me, but I should have stayed out of this lot, to be fair. That was going sideways. As much as we think it's going up, I probably should have stayed out of that one. So if you see me take a trade there, ignore it. That was a brilliant trade, and that was a brilliant trade. The best trades of the day, those two, when we get that nice push up, we have a break, two legs down to the EMA. That obviously looked a lot better before I reloaded my historical data. It was as bullish as you could find it, that, and good trade, and the good trades do rocket up, and that one clearly did. Same again with that one, two legs down, and it went up and up. Slowly at first, but then, but you'd have certainly got whatever points you went for there. And those would have been the trades of the day. Then that's all you need to do. If you do trades a day, 2 trades a day like that, and wait for them, leave all this shit alone. This is what I need to focus on. When we're in the middle of this, leave it alone. When we're in the middle of this, leave it alone. And you won't go far wrong. All is because I'm on an evaluation at the moment and they're cheap, you tend to rush it a little bit more than you probably should. You want to get it done. I know a lot of traders who successfully make money, a lot of money, and they still say they rush. I know I've chatted with the Canadian futures guy. He makes a ton of money. He does really well, but he says he likes to get them done quick and, speedily, and that's probably why I'm probably diving in here, probably where, when I should. Okay, there's that measured move. Okay. Chat amongst yourself. I'm just going to take... Yeah, I noticed that. Just going to take a 5-minute break. I'm just going to make a quick cup of coffee. I'll be back up in 5. Just chat amongst yourself. Jacko, behave yourself. Okay. Back. Yeah, so that's the issue now. We've hit that measured move. So would you really want to go long there? Well, doesn't mean to say it's not going to work, does it? And we've had a break. It's not a convincing break on the overall scheme of things, but it's a break nonetheless. So I'll probably just sit and watch it, I think. I usually have a separate screen with this all blown out so I don't have to keep zooming in, but I've got stuff on at the moment. But, just thinking if this is a bit of a spike and channel. Let me just... what are your thoughts on that? Does that look a bit better? Is that a bit of a spike? What are your opinions on that? Is that a bit of a spike and channel? Or should I put it back to these two swings? Because it fits lovely here, perfect here, perfect here. What do you think? And it fits still quite nice there, doesn't it? I know usually you would do it off those bottom two swings, but what do you reckon? Or would you do it just off there? In fact, that might be a better option. Let's have a look at that. Okay, I kind of like that better, actually. That's a better option. Okay, I kind of like that. It might turn into a bigger picture later, but I just kind of like the way that's fitting. I looked at it, but it's, for me, it's just too far away from the EMA. And the trouble is we've had this measured move here. That's not saying it's not going to go higher, but it's like a tick and a half, 2 ticks off a doji on mine, and it's just not close to the EMA. I tend to kind of like this close, really. That's the trouble. It's not saying it's not going to work, but we've had that measured move. Literally, the body's closed right at the nearest tick. You like both ways? Yeah, it's a bit hard to say, isn't it? What do you... Half the people... The reason I changed it to that is because that fits the tops and the bottoms, so I don't think it really matters what happens down here, does it? It wasn't a convincing break anyway, and it seems like we're going to go higher, but that fits nice there, that fits nice there, and it's sort of better at the top, isn't it? I mean, if you put it there like that, it looks better, doesn't it? So, yeah, I think that's probably better. I don't think it really matters too much, does it? It's not really going to change it. Apart from that might be a small break, but I'll just keep that in mind. It's been a while since we've had quite a nice trend up here like this, within a couple of nice setups. Yeah, if that was a little bit... I tend to like those where they sort of come right down here and finish like this, where the head of it's here and the stem of it's here. I love them. They just don't seem to fail. Something like, well, something like that. But I like them to push through the EMA really when they come back. Yeah, see, that went sideways, and I'd say till about there, and then it started going a bit, well, you could say here really, but I think above the EMA that was the safer option. It was the failure, although it was still a little bit sideways, but it'll sometimes, when we come to the top of the channel, it'll do a load of sideways till we get to the EMA and then push up from there. And that's sort of what it did. It may have started here, but then it sort of worked here, but I just got a bit unfortunate there. But I sort of figured out that what was likely to happen. I thought it was worth the extra point, but it worked, yeah. Yeah, it's not to say it wasn't going to work. But it was just the fact that we'd had the measured move, so this, you know, these two legs had sort of played out, and there was a possible break there. Although I've adjusted it, I don't think there is. But what did you get out of it, bud? 2 points, did you? I think you'd have comfortably got 2 points out of that, wouldn't you? Maybe not. 1.5. Yeah, you'd have got 1.5 out of it. Quite likely going to continue up, but sometimes when we tend to do this a lot, don't we? Get a push and a sideways, push and sideways. So we've had a push up, sideways, push up, sideways, push up, sideways, push up, sideways. We tend to push up and then go sideways back to either the key entry points, the EMA, and the bottom of the trend channel. Push up some more, push up some more. I'd want a convincing break than that, really. The way it fits here, really nice. In fact, I'll move it to that second bit there. That's better. The way that fits there, really nice. Even if you bring that down, yeah, I might as well keep that there. It's doing the same sort of thing. But it does the same pattern, doesn't it? More or less. We seem to get a move and then some sideways, a move and some sideways. And ideally, you want to stay out of that. Something like that's okay, but 6 ticks, excellent, well done. Yeah, I mean, if that had come down there, it would have been a lot closer. It may have gone. See, that now looks like 2 legs to me. 1 leg, 2 leg. And it would be, you can recount that, that would be a failure. I like that 1 leg, 2 leg. If we can come down a bit more, maybe bounce off here, I'll go along there up to the tops. Clear 2 legs. Right, I want another bar down here. Hey Ross, how you doing, buddy? Good morning. It's afternoon here. It's 4:10 in the UK. Yeah, I don't like that one. It's too float in the air for me. Or you could say short-term trend channel break new high. Maybe. I prefer that to come down here a bit. Okay, if we get a push down here somewhere. Come on, keep coming. Okay, one leg down, two legs down. If I can get something around here to go long, you could call that hidden second entry short if we can get something down here. But I'm just looking at one leg, two leg. Stay there. Next bar down here. I prefer that to come down to here ideally, and then finish bullish. See what we can get in this. Too far up the trend. Oh, you mean here? Yeah. There is a possibility we could maybe have a second entry long and come off here. This finished bearish enough. That I'll be probably just as happy with that. ATR is quite low at the moment. Less than 2 3/4 points as risk. Tick above, tick below. It's quite low, that is. And off she goes. Yeah, we had 2 legs down. See, I'll watch later the gorilla guy. He'd have probably put a trade in there. Once we'd had 2 legs back, he'd have probably dropped a limit order back there somewhere on thinking that we were going to come to here and push off. And it went, didn't it? Nicely. Straight up to this midline again. See what happens now. See if it pushes above it or comes back and stays under this midline. That midline's definitely playing a part, isn't it? Here, sort of most of this bit has been sort of above it. A lot of this has been below it, and we've pushed a bit above it, pushed down a bit below it. At least it's been a better day the last few days. Friday wasn't a bad day. It was a few nice trades last Friday. Trouble is, we sort of pushed out and we went sideways back to the EMA, which we did sort of here and we did here. The trouble is there's no real setup, but I know there's a couple of guys I watched that would have just chucked a limit order there, nice and low, and put a stop down here maybe, and just took a chance that, unfortunately, there wasn't a setup there for us. And that's the trouble, really. You miss so many of those because there's no setups. That was a bit of a risky setup, but we pretty much knew what was going to go on, and look what happened. We missed a big move, and same here. Ideally, really, if I'm honest with myself, that would have been a no probably. Some may have gone it. That would have been aggressive because it's this. That was just a bit pie in the sky. But we probably pretty much knew what was going to happen. So maybe you could have waited for this to drop and just chucked a limit order there and maybe just risked a point. I know a few traders that do that. And say me, and no real setup, but wait for it to go low. Just chucked a limit order in there, maybe risk a point. And if you'd have done something like that, but I think things like that will come with time. I think we all adapt and adjust our trading styles to how we feel comfortable and, you know, what we learn. Some of us like to stick to those, you know, same 2 points or 1-to-1, you know, what have you. But, you know, I started watching that, the gorilla guy, because I know he takes a lot of moves, and I'm almost certain he'll have known what's going on here, dropped the limit order right down low and took a chance. And he goes for a minimum of 6 points. So if you're just taking a risk for a point, you've only got to get that right 1 in 6 times. If you chuck the point in there, if you chuck the trade in there somewhere, right at the bottom of right on the EMA and the key entry point, it would have gone up. Same there if you'd have done the same there. Look what happens when we get right back to the EMA. If you'd have chucked a limit order in there, straight up. Chucked a limit order as tight as you can there, straight up. As tight as you can there, straight up. Same here, you know. Hey, Sam, how you doing, mate? How you doing, lad? So yeah, you know, sometimes it's worth these risks when you get a bit more experience, taking some in here, just taking some in here, taking some in here when it comes back to the EMA. And if you'd have got that, I guarantee you'd have got 5 or 6 points on each trade. 5 or 6 points there at least. He'd have got 20 points out of all that lot. And there hasn't been a decent setup. Higher risky one, but it just goes to show. Sometimes, you know, as you develop, it may be something for you. I'm certainly thinking more on the lines of taking more points, certainly taking a minimum 1-to-1. See, every time we've come back here, we've pushed up strongly, come back. We haven't gone up very strong then, we've come back. I won't be shocked if we end up having a break here.
That while last. Hope everyone has an amazing rest tomorrow, bright and early. 9 o'clock for the pre-market, 9:15 for the mainstream, and I hope to see you guys there. And as always, happy trading. God bless. Bye.
Is that the closing the shop music? I can't hear. Have you just heard something? Have you? It's all right. I just clicked on the Panda's site just to see how he did. Your audio is playing through your stream. Is it gone now? Is it? Or is it okay? Is it gone? I did just click on a couple of other stream guys just to see how they got on today. No, I like to see how they've got on today. I know he's got battered again, $500 down. I didn't realise because I had my volume off. I didn't realise it would play. Sorry, mate. I clicked on the pandas. I just flicked through his thing just to see how he got on for the day. And who was the other guy as well? The black something trading black something. Yeah, he said goodbye. Yeah. I just wanted to see how he got on for the day. That's all. He had a bad day again, didn't he? I don't like to see anybody struggling. See, fortunately, I think there has been some cracking entries. I took that early this morning, so you wouldn't have got option to that. But that was a great setup. Where else do we have? Yeah, music was good, but I want to get some just light background music. And I want to get some sort of animal eating some sort of food when I make a trade, something like that. Oh, okay, there's a second entry down here. Let's have a look. See how this gets on. Hopefully, I like that one. You could say we've had a break, but that's not convincing enough. Let's see if we can get a
order submitted.
In fact, I'm going to take this on a limit
Order
order
cancelled.
It might shoot up faster.
Order submitted.
Hopefully it'll stay a small risk, but it is a second entry long, and as long as it pushes above the key entry point, I'm okay. But I did mention that as we've pushed up here, we've come back a bit. I wouldn't be shocked if we had a break, which I did mention. But if that pushes up bullish above here, I'm not convinced that that's a break. So we'll see what happens here. It's just the way every time we've gone sideways back to the image, we've pushed up strongly. We haven't really. We've pushed up and it's been, excuse me a second. Okay. Let's move this down. Yeah, something about this that I'm not liking. See, every time we've come back to the image, we've pushed up strongly. We haven't. We've pushed up, but then we've strongly been rejected. And there is a possibility that might come down a little bit here and have a break. So I'm going to just ditch that.
Order cancelled.
It becomes a failure. Oh, okay. Yeah, I was just thinking that. I just noticed. There's the failure. We just lost momentum there a bit. And we came down strongly, didn't we? And it does look like it's coming down. I'm certainly not thinking about going short at the moment, but I ain't thinking about going long either. It's a possibility. We want to see Lance the Lion. Someone else mentioned that. If we get a line going, tearing the head off some poor animal the other day. Maybe I should Lance the Lion. Actually, that doesn't work out that bad, actually. Perhaps I could get a little lion here somewhere. I'll see if I can figure something out for you, Round Wolf. Every time I get a trade, I can just get a big roar, can't I? And big splatter blood hitting the screen or something like that. Yeah, something I don't like here. That's a fairly... See if it triggers. It may trigger and then push up and trap some shorts. But I wouldn't want to be going short there or long there, really, I think. I think it's safe to say that's a break. Everything else is fitted lovely. And just the fact that we've pushed out but then come straight back. Usually fade in the way of the trend, don't you? Which tells me if that's pulling back in so quick, maybe we are. Possibly, but it just seems to have been such a lovely day, doesn't it? It's a shame to ruin it now, isn't it? I mean, we don't often get a nice trend like that. I know it was a little bit choppy down here. We had a nice setup here. You may have gotten on that one there. You may have gotten on that one and had a bit of a go on a limit order, but it's quite nice to have a day like this because it does make trading so much more straightforward. When we're getting this bouncing shit all over the place, all this, it's just, apart from, you know, that one there, it's just so hard to trade, isn't it? But it just seems lately we've just had such a lot of tough trading days, haven't we? Everyone's getting battered. You know, I flick around all the other YouTubers and find out how they've done. And then I'll go on to the Facebook, you know, a couple of the Facebook groups and see how they've done. Yeah, it's triggered those. And everyone's been getting battering apart from Mac. He seems to still be able to pull off 20 trades in a day. But like I've said over the last couple of weeks, if you can learn to trade the bad stuff when the good stuff comes back, everything should fall into place, shouldn't it? You know, like they say, sort of train hard, fight easy, really, if you can. Yeah, see this. So that failure's triggered there. Would you go long off here? Would you go
Order
long
submitted.
off there on the engulfing? Would you? No, you probably wouldn't, would you? You probably would, but see what happens. I'm just not sure at the moment, so
Order
I'm
cancelled.
trying to have this policy if I'm not sure. See, that's a failure as well. Because that's the same height, so you could say that's the failure, couldn't you? So you may get trapped going long there. See if this comes down. I like to think it's going to push up from here, though. But you might have took that as a failure, but when this went bullish, it probably cancelled it before it triggered, which is why it probably didn't rocket up. I've got a feeling that that's going to get stopped out. I might be wrong, but I've got a funny feeling that's going to come down and stop that out. Then that would be the failure, and then that would be the push down. Or it might come down to here and then push back up. It's hard to say at the moment. It just doesn't look. It just seems to have lost some of its oomph. Okay, we seem to be getting a push. Okay. Yeah, this is starting to feel a little bit shady to me. I was just looking at that and thinking, oh, we may get a higher low, but there's something I don't like about this I don't like. And usually my instinct, when I get that feeling, I stay out of it. It usually turns into a sensible idea, but something about that I don't like. I wouldn't be shocked if it comes down and stops out. Anybody going long here? My arse would be twitching right about now. Yeah, good decision. Yeah, just by the way we pushed up and came back sharply, I had a funny feeling something was going to happen here. I did mention that when it came back, that I've got a feeling we're going to have a break. So let's see what's happened here. What do we? So you would fade this in the way of the trend, wouldn't you? But just, I don't know. That to me is 2 legs down, but it's just something about it I don't like. Just got danger written all over it. I'm trying to listen to my instincts a bit. I'm just trying to think, well, we've had another break. Possibly a break before. It doesn't look like we have, to be fair, does it? This looks like our first break. So one would think we would try and get a new extreme, but this is not where I want to get into it from. Yeah, well, that's why I'm leaving it. It's certainly looking like a reversal, isn't it? See, although we've got it to fit nice, it's highly likely, I'd say, the way that's breaking like that, we'd probably get a new high before we get a reversal. We've still had the sideways, we've had a little pop. Perhaps we need a bigger run out. I'd say if we can get a failure going up, then I'd take it. But it's just fitted so. See, I had it slightly different, didn't I? It's fitted really nicely. Now, even if I took it back here, trouble is, you keep extending it and you keep extending it, you know what I mean? Now, I'm quite comfortable. This is the only break we've really had. Everything fits quite nice, fits nice under the midline, above the mid. We're either above it or below it, a little bit above it, a little bit below it. So I'd say we're likely going to get a new high here, but measured leg has played out. So you just don't know, do you? Just might lose momentum. If it goes down enough, people might think I ain't taking that, I ain't getting into it long. And it is human behaviour we're reading, isn't it? Yeah, I looked at that. 1 leg, 2 legs, but it's gone a bit further than the second leg, hasn't it? Or has it? Oh, no, it hasn't. Sitting nice there. In fact, probably make that fit a bit better. Yeah. Yeah. Do I want to go long here? Ordinarily, I would do, but I'm stopping. These are the types of bottoms I'm trying to pick. It's not really a second entry, although it's 2 clear legs down. But these are the tops and bottoms I'm trying to leave and just concentrate on the breaks and the moves. But this isn't as good. I'd rather wait for maybe a higher level or a failure. I'm happy happy that we've not really had a break out of there. Everything's fitted up there lovely, and it looks nice as well, doesn't it? So I'd say this is the only place we've really had a break. And we have had 2 lines, 2 legs down, and price is sitting on top of that second leg. So we'll see what happens, see if we can push up. Oh. And the ironic thing is, though, sometimes when you think these trends can't go any further, they just rocket off again. Yeah, I'm going to add a little bit of background music over the next couple of days. I don't know what. I'll think of something. Something calming or relaxing. I didn't realise that if you click on other people's videos, it plays. It doesn't with Streamlabs for some reason, but it does. It does with it does with OBS for some reason. I don't quite know why. Yeah, if anybody wants to know what I look like, very similar to that. Very similar. Not the car, the body. That's sort of what I look like. Very similar. Very similar. Very similar. Just out of interest. Jazz theme. You want a jazz theme? All right. Okay. Any other thoughts on jazz? I can have some nice jazz. In fact, yeah, have a think about what you want me to find, and I'll have it based on something. Whether we have it based on some jazz, or I don't know, or something, some heavy rock, whatever you fancy. Two streams from music. I take it you're not up for music then, are you, Sam? You can just turn me off, can't you? It'll only be very, very quiet stuff. You'll barely hear it. It'll just get rid of the silence. That's all. Okay, so we've had quite a strong bar there, haven't we? But nothing that's going to interest me. So, what do we do here, guys? Nothing really, is it? It's too dangerous, isn't it? That is. I don't think there's any type of. I don't think so. It doesn't look right, does it? I'd say we're likely going to make a new high, but I'd rather. Just thinking where there may be some short traps. So that's 2 legs back, and price has been held there lovely. So you'd think that would be the thing to push higher, but you just don't know, do you? So you think if we break midpoint, we're going to go higher, do you? In fact, I'll tell you what. Do you know what else I come across the other day as well? Somebody mentioned the good thing about getting in these short-term trends early. Yeah, once they get up so far, you can ride them, because when we have a break of them, we usually have a new extreme, and these tend to be more reliable. So sometimes if you get 3 bars like that in a row, it's quite useful to get into them, because you don't know how far they're going to push up before we have a break and a new high, but you can almost say the chance of us having a break and a new high is good. So if you can get in there somewhere. So it might have been Mac or something that, no, it was somebody else. I'll tell you, it was the Gorilla guy. He said the good thing about getting in, if you have, say, 2 legs down and you have a move up like that, you can almost jump in it, because it's pretty sure it's going to keep on going, and if it doesn't, it'll usually stop, pull back, and then make a new high. Whichever way, it's going up. Do you know what I mean? Does that make any sense? Look at that, nice and strong. Let's see if our theory would have been right. See if it goes and breaks and has a new high. Woof, look at that, off like a rocket. Yeah, see what I mean though about these? So let's see if that continues up and has a break and a new high. So let's say, for instance, you'd have jumped in here randomly. Not that you would, you'd have had 2.5 points there. Let's see what happens when we go up. See, these are reliable for breaks and new extremes. So let's see what happens. Make a double top. Yeah, look at that. It's got up nice, that. I wouldn't have got in here, but if you would have got in there, you'd have had 6 points on there. Okay, so we did have a break and a new high. So I think it's safe to say we had 2 legs down. Prices held this. I don't know whether that was a good trade or not. I don't think it was a terrible trade. I wouldn't have taken it just in case we came up and then gone down some more, but that's a first break. We haven't had an overshoot or ever, so you'd think we'd have a new high. So if I'd have randomly got in here, let's see if we have this break and a new high. Took that out of the range, break fade, yeah. Yeah, see, we're going sideways, and they say fade to break out, don't we? And let's face it, 2 legs down, that was certainly fade. In fact, yeah, it was a good trade, actually. It's always better when you can see what the result was, but I think it's fair to say we're in a clear uptrend. We had a break. You expect a new extreme. Now we've gone sideways. We had 2 clear legs down, nice big bullish bar, fade in the break. So not only is it second entry long, well, not counting, but it's a visually 2 legs down, isn't it? Nice big bullish bar, fade to breakout. Yeah, it's got I'm going up written all over that now. Think about it, isn't it? I'll keep that in mind actually for next time. There's our little bit of a break, quite possibly. So, yeah, so that was a good trade, that was. So I like the look of that. I know the gorilla guy does a lot of this. Waits for he waits for the break and has 2 legs, and then he'll jump in it. He'd have probably jumped on it down here on a limit order and taken that, but that was okay. That was all right. That. Taking my good on you, mate. Well done. Yeah, the more I see that, it was the 2 legs that gave it. Look at that. It's sitting on there beautifully, isn't it? Yeah, we've had a break. If it's going to go up, where's it going to go up from? It's going to go up there, isn't it? I think the chance of it coming up and going down, we've had such a nice push up. Traders will usually push it higher, which it clearly has done. So, wasn't a massive bar either, was it? Yeah, wasn't terrible. I'm going to take visual stuff more often. Yeah, I think that comes with experience, does it? You can clearly see there's 2 clear legs down. Not only can you see there is, you put it in the measured mood, the body's finished to the tick, don't they? Gorilla guy took this setup. He's currently in the trade ape. Are you watching him, Ron, dear? There is bread and butter trade. He doesn't like getting in on here, does he? He likes to get these big moves. Yeah, he'll ride that up. He'll have his stop probably here now, won't he? His stop will be here. And now we've made a new high. Might run it up there. That's what I like about him. He's got the balls to stay in, isn't he? You can clearly see this is 2 legs down. I bet he didn't even take the trade there, Ron, did he? I bet he took it right down here somewhere, didn't he? Took a limit. So I dare say his trade may be here. It may be here, I'd say. That's what I like about him. I'm guessing he's probably took it somewhere around about this line, I'd say. So you said he was on 8 points. So yeah, he may have even took it slightly lower. I take it you're paying to watch him, Ron, are you? 2-legged pullback, first break up the channel, clear 2 legs. Yeah, 1 leg, 2 leg. Yeah. How many? What is he? Is he on 10 contracts? Because he's got 2 counts, isn't he? Is he on 10 contracts? Yeah, that's a nice bit of money, that is. I got to say, I do like him. What is it? Is it $100, Ron? Is it something to watch him? I'm tempted to have him on here, just have him to the side, so I can watch where he's coming out. It's $100, isn't it? That's the one thing. So I'm the gym guy. The gym guy. Yeah. You took the same one. Well, there you go, Osam. Why aren't you streaming? Charge $99, mate. Charge $99. I got to say, though, apparently he trades on Zoom, doesn't he? So it's real time. The trouble is, I was looking into this about the latency side of, you've got to have a really, really quick upstream to have ultra low latency. And if ultra low latency is about 1 or 2 seconds behind, I've got normal latency, which is about, I think they said 18 seconds behind. And that's the trouble. Even if you wanted to copy mine, you wouldn't. But 18 seconds. It's a world of difference in this business, isn't it? But I believe he trades on Zoom. You don't want. Yeah, I've got to say the lion for me does sound a little bit more manly, doesn't it, than Chimp Boy. Okay, it's not been a bad day, actually. I'm quite happy being up on that. Yeah, I just heard that Gorilla guy mention about that. The good thing about getting in on trends like this is usually they're going to go higher. So when you get out, usually they'll break and then go higher. And these are probably the most reliable ones, which will break and make a new extreme, which it has there. So even if you saw these 3 candles in, you jumped in maybe here, you can just ride it up until it breaks. And then when it breaks and it makes its new high, you can jump out, can't you? But I dare say he'll probably have his stop here. Or maybe a bit higher. Okay, so there's our first break of the day. That's a clear break. No arguments there. I've got to say, it's been a lot more of a straightforward day today. It's not often we see days like that. I literally, since just before the market opened, well, let's say when the market opened, look at that. It's beautifully up there. Nice and clear. Nice and clear. Yeah, and I think it's safe to say on those, on a trend like that, that's come back about 50%, wouldn't it? So if you use the, I don't use these. Let's have a look. There, isn't it? So the 50% now, it's come back a little bit more, is it? Is that I haven't used these for a long time. No, you go there, don't you? And it hasn't quite, it's come back. It's come back not far off 50%, but that was a good trade. I think that was another good trade. I missed that one. I'm sorry I missed that, actually. Well, I'll tell you why. I try and avoid trades because sometimes people will say, oh, it's not a second entry. But I think it's fair to say with experience, that's clear 2 legs down. Okay, so that's worked. It's, excuse me a sec. Sorry about that. Wife and daughter going out. Okay. That's made a new high. Come down now. So let's get these short-term trend channels drawn. So I've got to say it's been a lovely day today. Best day for a while. Just looks normal. If you don't use the fib, you can find the midpoint. Yeah, I was just thinking about getting in on these. If you're getting on these swings, where's it safe to get in on before it? We'll have a break and come back and get you before it moves up. But well, if what I was thinking of is if you had like sort of 2 pushes down and it started to go into this tight range, then you could probably leave it in longer, thinking, well, it's going to go up and then come down. But if you're in down here, even if it gets up to here and comes back 50% before it goes high, it's still going to be... I'm just trying to think of ways of staying in, working it out as my experience grows to stay in these trades a bit longer and get a bit more money out of them. See that one? That would have been a beauty. Look. That gorilla guy would have got in there and he'd have kept it there and he'd have kept it there and he'd have got out maybe 8 to 9 points. Well, that's the equivalent of 4 trades for some people. Straight back down. Okay, so we've had this break. 2 pushes up, or a push up and a break to a new high. So that is technically played out now. So let's see if this thing widens and carries on. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna. No. In fact, you could say that sits at the the upper side of the where's the mid range? I'm just thinking where the mid range for that is. Show midline there. Yeah, it's just too early, I think, to put that in. Let's concentrate on this. So we've had a break and a new high, and now we've pushed down in another short trend channel. Valentino, how are you doing? We have seen you before. Yeah, we have. It's been a while. Nice to have you back. Nice to see you. I like this one. Yeah, I do as well. It's the midpoint. Yeah, everything fits nice. Actually, it's we sort of had above it there. We push below it, then we sit along the bottom of this. Then we push up. We're a little bit at the top, push down. But yeah, sometimes they just fit nice, don't they? And that fits nice. There's no argument there, is there? I don't think you need to incorporate this, do you? Push up, break, push up, couple of legs back, and then we started the trend. See, the thing is, when we looked at that one and I said it wasn't the ideal bar, and it wasn't really, but an experienced trader might have thought, touched here beautifully, touched here, touched here, touched here, touched here, it's going up. And maybe in time, we'll have the confidence to say, take that. I mean, it's not a setup as such, is it? No, there's the new high, so it's not quite a second entry long until it breaks below there, but it's as close as, I suppose, isn't it? All good here, been busy with work. Excellent. Nice to see people hard at work, so I haven't been able to trade much. Yeah, I know what it's like, mate. Hopefully you've been doing good, brother. Oh, fantastic. Absolutely amazing. And if you believe that, no, I've had my struggles, mate, like most of us, but I'm just trying to find my equilibrium and staying away from this shite and this stuff, and then wait for some, you know, nice setups. I had a nice one there, lovely second entry there, lovely second entry there. Got lucky in a trade. Got lucky there in a trade, so I've got to say, we haven't had days that look as nice as that for a long time. Look how clear it is. Push up side was push up side was push up side was bit of break, 2 legs down, nice strong. Yeah, I think traders will be pleased with that. Certainly. Right, okay, so let's just have a look at this. Righty tighty. Let's open this up a bit. Okay, so we've got a trend, a break. Now you would be thinking a new low here. Now, new high. So push down. Risky, I think. Something about it. I'd prefer 2 pushes really, but maybe some of you might take that. Maybe we're carrying on up. It's hard to say at the moment. Would you take a failure short here since I don't know, mate. I'm not sure what to do here when I'm not sure. See, short-term trend channel break, new high, short-term trend channel break, you would think a new low, but I like to have 2 pushes really before I take it, which is something like that one. We've had a short-term trend, then at 1 leg down, 2 legs down. I like 2 legs down really before I think about going with the trend there, and that's just 1 push at the moment, which makes me a bit nervous. We can get a tick below and maybe 1 little leg and another little leg. But what I've got to keep in mind is so far we've been moving up, and it's been an uptrend until I get any confirmation we're moving down. But we've had that break, 2 pushes up, and then we've pushed down, but we haven't pushed down as low as this, so it's hard to say. We could end up doing something like this, moving down for a bit, but it's just too early at the moment. So it's just sit and wait in time, I think. We haven't moved down that much. Yeah, that's what I mean. We've not had it confirmed really, haven't we, before you got thinking. Because we've had a break and we've had a new high, that's played out, so I'm not thinking about going long or short here at the moment. It's so easy, these areas you can get trapped. I know, I've been trapped in enough of them. I've got to say, it's a pleasure when you have a day like this, it really is. We've truly been gifted today, that's for certain. It has been, we've had a better few days. We've had 2 really good days in the last week, in the last, say, 5 days, because it's been so hard and choppy and congested, isn't it? Something has changed. Are you on about something with the markets in general, Jacko? Because if that's what you mean, not something here right now. But yeah, something's seems to be improving, doesn't it? Going to say it's not often you see a nice clear picture like this. Push up sideways, push up side. It's been pretty predictable, and that's what we're looking for, really, isn't it? Predictability. If you can, figure out what markets are doing, and we see these nice patterns and nice setups, makes life easier. Yeah, which one? Yeah. I think you're on about the markets in general, yeah? Yeah, it certainly seems we seem to get. We've had a couple of this. We had one day last week where it was a nice day, and now obviously today there's been some lovely trends today, some lovely setups today. Even if you can get 2 really nice setups in a day, nice setups, I'd say it's good enough, isn't it? We're pretty lucky. Hmm. It's kind of a bit sideways now, isn't it? Yeah, so that trend's played out. We've had a break and a new high. So you would think now this is the chance to come down if it's going to, but there's no guarantees it's going to. I don't think anyone will have gone short, but if they have, I wouldn't want to be in there right now. So we had the short-term trend channel break. And we're waiting on a new low. If one's going to happen, it might continue to go up. Yeah, it's hard to say. The channel has played out with this break and a new high. I need to focus on those and try to get in on them. Because when they work, look how well that's worked. Yeah, if you'd have gone short here, you could get stopped out. Yeah. What if just randomly place a buy above this? Trouble is, sometimes because we've had this, I still expect a low. Sometimes I've known this before because I've got you take the first one, that'll stop you out. It'll go up there and then come down bearish and then drop because it'll be a second entry then. At the moment, that's a first entry, so that's triggered. But if it breaks up and takes them out, it'll go up a little bit and then it may come down then bearish, and that might be your second leg down. But if you're in that trade, you're probably going to get stopped out. That's why them first entries are just risky. Yeah, there was a guy, Merce, his name was. That's what he used to do. Just traded stops. Trouble is, a lot of the time, unless you get a fantastic stop, they don't really go that far, do they? You might get a point or so out of them. Because I think it's still likely we may still come down here. It's just we've only had one push. Yeah, a little pop, but not much further. So there was definitely some shorts there. That's, I think it's fair to say there. So you'd have got a 0.25 out of that. But this could be two legs up and we could be working our way down now. It's hard to say. We could end up doing something like this. One leg up, two legs up. Or it might be a bit more like this. Until it does something though, it's a bit pie in the sky at the moment. But that looks like two legs to me. If we go to, say, about there. Let's see how this finishes. Yeah, we could break, we could have pushes. So these are usually really, really reliable. You took that one, first trade. Excuse me. Oh, you took that one there, did you? I'm assuming you went on engulfing, did you? Yeah, if you're only going for something like 2 points, they're worth taking them, but I tend to go for a bit more, really. Okay, so there's your first entry. Could be a possible failure to go higher. We may be going higher. It's hard to say at the moment. You just don't know. Sometimes we'll get a break, come up, and we'll keep on going up. Because this has been so consistent, there's nowhere I can adjust me thing there without going maybe from here or possibly here. Yeah, see, that fits quite nice, doesn't it? Trouble is, where do you draw the line as such? That fits anyway, so we've had this break. See what happens here, whether we keep going up, and I don't think it really matters how we do. I tend to feel a bit safer nowadays drawing these short-term trend channels and following these, but obviously we had a break. We haven't had a new low yet. We may get one now, or it may just continue to go up. It doesn't always work. See, that was 2 lovely legs down. I should have sent that one leg, 2 leg. Buff, beautiful. That was probably even. A small channel there, break, new low. So not only was it 2 legs down, it was a clear channel, a break and a new low. And then we stumbled. It is a little bit congested there, but I think when it's broken below and it's ended up so bullish. So the thing going for there is we've had a break, we expect a new high. So that's one reason. We've had 2 clear legs down. You'd expect then to push up from there. You've had a a little channel and then a break and a new low. You'd think they go up there. And we've been going sideways, and usually you fade the breakout, so it's broken out, big bullish bar, you fade it. And those combination of the 2 legs down, the break, the fade, that's what sent up nice and strong. We may even have some sort of sideways stuff for a while. It's hard to say. That's more or less played out, isn't it? Ooh, look at you come down. Yeah, I'd say it's likely we may get a little bit of range. Certainly looks like that at the moment. I suppose it's possible we could push higher, so we've had their first entry, second. This is a possible failure. Just wonder if we may get some shorts there, but it hasn't triggered for them. Could be... No. Still looks bullish, doesn't it? But I'm guessing it's more likely we're probably going to get a little bit of sideways stuff. In my opinion. Okay. There's a failure. Not much room to the highs if we are going up, or it may just come up here. I've got a feeling we're going to be going a little bit of sideways, so I will be a bit nervous about going along there in that failure. Because I wouldn't be shocked if we hit the top of here and bounced and came back down and made a new low for this. One leg up, two legs up. Yeah, it's going sideways, isn't it? It's a bit trappy. Oh, sorry. Looks like it's gathering fuel. Yeah. It looks like it could possibly dump its fuel as well. It's hard to say, doesn't it? Might go up some more. Just looks like it's struggling. I've got a feeling we're gonna come down and tick below this, break this low. It's losing momentum a bit. It's hard to say, isn't it? It's hard to say. Yeah, I do get the feeling it's ranging. It from what I can see, it's making sense. The only trouble is about going along there on a failure. I don't think you're going to get much out of it before it comes down. It might rock it up. There's probably going to be some shorts there, maybe. If it can get above there, then it may get a bit more height. But I think it's ranging, and the trouble is when it's ranging, it's going to reach here and then probably come low. So if you go along on the failure, I think you're going to get your arse shafted. And I don't fancy that today. know, it's gone slow, isn't it? Mind you, we can't complain. We've had a good day, haven't we? I mean, look at that. It's not often we get a trend like that. That looks lovely, I got to say. A little bit of congested here, but I think if you were experienced, you may have took that one. You may have took that one. There, possibly there. One leg down. It's hard to say. Maybe there. One leg, two legs. Wasn't really a setup, but there's probably going to be some that jumping in there thinking two legs. And obviously that one there as well. If you were up early enough, second entry long there, lovely second. So even just those two trades, if you got in those two trades, or this one. I mean, there's some possible really good trades today. So it's not often we get days like this. So it's patience when it's like this, and then when we get those setups. And the good setups do go. I mean, now the more I look at that two legs down, good setup, didn't it rocket off? Look, you think of how many buyers are down there thinking this is the way up. And same here as well. Second entry went up, a little bit sideways, but it went up nonetheless. And that one, another good setup, straight up. There's a lot of points here. Even if you sort of, you followed this up and you went behind that bar, and followed it up. Obviously depends how you trade. A lot of people stick to the same, but the more traders I see, the more I trade myself, the more I think there's more money left on the table, and I just want to try and get a piece of them. At least that way you get more points on a win. It covers your losses a bit more then, doesn't it? And it doesn't, I remember the days of trading 1 point, and you get 4 wins and you get taken out by the fifth trade, which would be a loser, and it's heartbreaking. Yeah, I think the only way you trade in a point now is if you trade in large amounts of money. You're trading 50, 100 contracts, then you want to go for a point and then try and get a runner, then that, from what I've found, traders I've spoken to or experienced traders, the more money that they get, they actually tend to lower the risk. Okay, what's going on here? Are we going up or are we going to come back down? Our price is holding here in a bit, so it's hard to say. I'd say there's probably more chance of us coming down a bit and going a bit sideways. It's hard to say. It's possible, mate. Oh, there we go. We have done. It's possible, or we could break out of this and come back in. It's possible. No reason why we can't go. A lot of the times here, I'll see these days and they'll go up, and then by the end of the day, I'll look back and it'll come down here and gone up another ton. So this could be like another channel sort of running alongside it, couldn't it? It's possible. Could have another sort of Let's just change that colour, see if we can make things a bit clearer. Possible. Yeah, sometimes it just can't sustain going up so strongly. It's not gone up that well, actually, it has, isn't it? Let's have a look. What are we up for the day? Since the overnight lows, 80.20, we're up about 60 points or so. Yeah, we could have like a break, a couple of pushes up, and then work along in another one. It's possible. Are you trading another evaluation account? Yeah. I've passed one. This is another one. So hopefully I'll have 2 PAs on the go come beginning of next week. Marco has a spike and channel, which looks good. What, from here? Let me have a look. Yeah. I don't know about that. It might be right. I don't know. What do you think? Something just doesn't look right there. Yeah, I don't quite know. That channel looks... It's hard to say. What do you think? It's hard to say. All I know is it's fitting nice in there. Touch, 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 touch. Yeah, it's hard to say. About 04. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't like the way he's got a big sort of head at the side. I don't know if I can. It's just so hard to say, isn't it? I don't really think it's going to make a massive difference. I'm happy to say this is a break and a new high, come back and it's working again. So I don't think it makes a massive difference. What I will say is it's working nicely along this bottom line. So whether this top line is, I don't know, but it's working nice along the bottom line. So we'll see what happens. But it is highly possible we could push down and this could be a range. That could just be fine. It's not even a break out of it, is it really? Possibly it is. Let's leave it there a minute. Let's put it there. See what happens. It might be the bottom of a channel, but it may be a range. I know it's touching at the moment. So it's either this or this, but I don't think it matters so much about the overall day at the moment. I don't think. In fact, I'm not a fan of that at the moment. Just going to leave it like that, see what happens. See if we give it some time. I think I've got a feeling it's going to be more rangy at the moment. See what happens here. There's probably going to be some longs in there on the failure maybe, so if it comes below there, that might give it some distance. If it breaks below there, it's hard to say. It might be a trend. I like the range idea. I think, yeah, it's at the moment I do, yeah. I mean, if it carries on breaking out of it and goes up, then you know, we'll readjust. But just the way it's come back down there, gone up, had a little bit of a break, but been rejected. So we'll see what happens. If it comes down here, then I think it's more range at the moment. But yeah, Steve, I don't really think it matters at the moment, Steve. I know what you're saying. I just, with Marco's, it looks a little bit, there's a load of headroom for some reason, whereas it kind of fits here nicely. Bottoms fit, tops fit. I like the way it sits below the midline, then above it, then below it. So it's not, but at the moment, the way things are at the moment, I don't think it makes a massive difference, really. I'm trying to focus more on the small, because this is the problem I have. I tend to jump into doing the larger channels a bit too soon, and I'm forgetting about what's going on the small ones. And I think it's the old, it's the old saying that, concentrate on the pennies and the pounds will take care of themselves. You know what I mean? So if I concentrate on the short-term trend channels, the larger ones will sort of take care of themselves. But I expect a new low from this, because these, surprisingly enough, are really, really reliable. I'm surprised we haven't had one yet, but we may. So, how are you getting on with the Gorilla guy? I considered paying him and just having him next to my chart up here and just letting him play in the background more, just to get some out of what he is, the distance he gets. But I like listening to him. I think he's got some good ideas. I do like the fact that he goes for more points. He does take slightly riskier trade, but with the bigger points, it enables you to go for a lot more setups if you're taking slightly riskier ones. You know what I mean? Okay, so we've. See, there may be some longs there, which is triggered. So let's see if this comes down here and stops out any longs that are in there, and then I'm going to say we're going to have 2 legs down there, so that may be a leg, and that may be another leg. See what happens. See if this, because it can certainly get confused into thinking we're going up at the moment, and we may well be. Every time it comes back to the EMA, it's pushing up, and same here. But at the moment, I think you've got to take into consideration that it could be a range, and it's just a little bit risky, especially after we've had a break and a new high, and we've had another new high now. So there's probably going to be some longs in there, and the way this sits in, this is congestion. This tells me it's probably likely going to come down and take them longs out. And if it does that, I think then it will certainly get to the midline, maybe a bit lower. I like to think it'll play out this measured move. So if that takes down 1 tick, I'm always certain there's going to be some longs there. Okay, that's pushed down there. Okay. Yeah, it's gone down quite comfortably, isn't it? I'd say there'll be some longs in there. It hasn't flown down, but it's come down enough, I think. It may even push down a bit more there, because that was a failure, and they're thinking it's going to come up, pull back in, and they may hold on to that position. So I'd say if we get below there, we'll get even more fuel down, I think, and that'll take us out for this measured move, maybe at the bottom, possibly a new low here. Or it could be a second entry long going up. It's just hard to say at the moment. That's the trouble with these ranges. Until it's gone up and down a few times, I'm not convinced it is, but I think it's likely, or I think so. And on follow ICT in his live stream. Started to pick up some nuggets. ICT. I've not heard of him. ICT. Oh, decided to. Yeah, good. Are you think it's worthwhile then, do you, Ron? The good thing about it is Zoom, it's live, isn't it? So I do like him. I got to say, he's obviously an experienced trader. I have watched some of it. He took 2 setups the other day, picked 2 bottoms, and they both failed. Now they're the types of trades that I would have taken. You started. Oh, well done. The types of trades that he trades for an hour and a half, though, doesn't he? That's the only thing. The 2 setups that would I'd have taken in the past, but I tend to avoid now. But he takes slightly more riskier trades, but he use them on limit orders, so he risks probably only half the amount. Yeah, I did try. I did try for the week's trial, but I got an email back saying it had run out. So I don't know. I thought I may have it just on to the left of one of my screens, maybe running and just to see what he's up to. But yeah, I believe he does something on Zoom, so it's real time, I believe. Definitely going sideways now. This is definitely ranging for me. This is whether we sit above this midline and maybe push down. Trying on one side. This is a possible failure, but it's still got that barbed wiry effect to me. And it's sitting above that midline, so it's not somewhere I really want to short into. There is a second entry long there, which is triggered, so that may come down. Oh, the inner circle. There's no one on YouTube with more experience in the game. This is his last. I think he's done mentoring. Oh, so he's giving up, is he? Inner circle trading. I don't know. Does he trade Pat system? Does he? Yeah, it's a bit wicky now, isn't it? If you went long there, you got stopped out. If you went short there, it triggered. You're probably going to get stopped out. If you went long there, you triggered. You may get stopped out. So there's definitely some traps forming, isn't it? Isn't there? Oh, not Pat system. He's a kind of a godfather. Right. Yeah, we'll have a look. Yeah. Oh, so he doesn't. Yeah. Trouble is, I do price max system, so you've sort of, when you get into one strategy, you've really just got to take it and follow it. Guys, not really. Yeah. See, I believe in Pats. I think it's a great system, and when you take the proper setups, it just works beautifully. Setups like that, second entry long, just don't fail. Now, obviously, that seemed a lot different earlier. That was a lot more bullish until I right-clicked and changed it. But same again, strong push-up, 2 legs down to the EMA. It did look more bullish than that one. They just do not fail. If you can patient and wait and sit through stuff like that, they just don't fail. When they're as good as that. Yeah. It's hard to say, isn't it? It's definitely trappy, isn't it? I'm going to move that for a minute. You want it to fail, do you? It's hard to say at the moment, isn't it? It's just gone really congested. But it does seem to be working up, but I've got a feeling it's going to push down a bit before it goes higher if it does. See, if you'd have said that was a new high and you'd have took that as a lower high, maybe to trap some possible longs here, it triggered, but you've just been stopped out. So also trying to think. So yeah, so there was a long trap which took you out. There was a short trap which took you out. That's the trouble. So when you're seeing them traps either way, that's the place to stay out, really, isn't it? And there's a second entry long off there, but it's flat. Excuse me, EMA's flat and it's congested, so you just don't know where it's going to do. It may come down. I did expect it to come down a touch, But I think for me it needed to break below this and this. So there's probably some longs in there, That's the last sort of battle there. They were taken out there, so it's hard to say. I like it to go up to 4.0. For my phone. Oh dear. Does look like it's still moving, doesn't it, in the general direction, but it's just not convincing enough. There's no setup here. Yeah, there isn't really, is there? There were some traps if you fancied losing some, but I'm getting better at spotting them now. Do you know, I find sometimes the longer you've been sitting here, the better you become, I think. Sometimes I find it quite interesting. You know, when you expect something to happen and it happens, and you start to think, well, I'm starting to work out, well, what information I'm reading, it's going where it's telling me. So sometimes I find you sit here and you almost get into the zone and you're looking at the bars and you're working out what's going on and you're really reading it well. And I know sometimes I can be guilty of chatting too much, maybe reading the comments too much and not focusing on what the market's doing. But I feel quite comfortable sat here at the moment, working out what's going on. I'll need to go up for a second leg. Well, that's what I mean, mate. You just sometimes when you think it can't go up any further, you might come sideways and it'll go up a whole nother leg. It'll do that sometimes, won't it? It's quite amazing, really. So, you know, sometimes when you think it won't go up any further, we'll end up doing something like this and it'll come back to it and we'll end up having another whacking great push. And you think it can't go up any further, and it bloody well does. It's uncanny, really, isn't it? In fact, I'm going to leave that there just for the fun of it. It really is. You think, oh, it's got to come down. See, you've got people now trying to pick tops because you're thinking we've had all this massive push up. Well, it's not that massive. We had one bar the other day, which was longer than that. Where are we? We're up to, say, 145 from 85, so 45, 58. It's 60 points, not a huge amount. There was a 55-point bar the other day. So it's not as much as you think. It looks a lot because it's been going up slowly and up slowly and up slowly, but a lot of the times when you think it can't go up anymore, flipping off it goes. And you think it's never going to reach that. I'm not convinced it will, but you just don't know, do you? No, there isn't any really. I'll get rid of it for now. I'm not convinced it's going to, but it'd be interesting to see if it does. Let's take that out to there, so at least we can follow it up again if it does. It's going up slowly, but it's not convincing enough, isn't it, to get you in on a trade, really. It's just teasing you enough to get you in and then trap your ass. It's definitely been a better day, though. I've quite enjoyed trading today. It's not been quite so messy. No, bud, I lost that one. This is an evaluation at the moment. So I've got 2 at the moment. I've just passed one. This is a second one. I did manage to get some money out of the PA, but I had a couple of bad days in a row and didn't stick at my loss limit for the day and ended up blowing it in the end. So, ooh, little spike there. Yeah, there was a second entry long, but I don't like that. EMA was flat, congested, although it is going up. But at the time, I'm thinking range at the moment. So, okie dokie. I thought I remember you passed one. Yeah, I passed one. Managed to get it up to about $7,500. Took 2,000 out of it, and I just had a bad day. I lost instead of stopping at 2 trades, I just carried on, ended up losing $2,300 one day and $1,900 the next, and I just couldn't recover from that mental sort of violence. So I just seemed to go downhill from there. What I should have done is just kept to the 2 loss, and if I'd have kept to my maximum 2 loss, I'd have lost $700 in the day, and all of a sudden that doesn't seem too bad. So it's got a bit choppy actually, isn't it? In fact, what time is it now? We've been going 3.25 hours. I'm happy with what I got today. I'm probably going to knock it on the head again, guys, actually, today. Is it today? Is it Monday? It's Monday today. Oh, great. So we got the full week. Fantastic. But it's been an all right day, actually. It's been a while since we've had a nice, cleaner looking day. It's been so. Oh, excuse me a second. Sorry about that. It's a quick phone call. Yeah, it's been a really nice day, actually. Nice trading day. Makes a change to have some nice, clear setups. So that is going to be me for the day. So, guys, that runs out. The 80% off runs out tomorrow. So I've got a code there for 80% off. So you don't have to use it, but it's there if you want it. Doesn't cost you anything extra. That's why that's the reason I put it up. So that is it for today. I am going to start putting up some videos of cut down versions of the day, just the trades. Because I know some people have mentioned they haven't got the time to sort of, if you're working, you haven't really got the time to sit through with the trades. So I'll probably just do maybe a quick 10-minute version of them or something like that. I'm not sure yet. Or I might do something in the timestamps. I'll figure out what to do. But yeah, it's there if you need it. 80% off till tomorrow. And if you subscribe to the channel, then you'll get notifications of any new videos that I'm going to put on shortly. So I'll be back here tomorrow, just before market open time. So I hope you've had a great day. I appreciate you guys hooking in. It's nice to have a chat with people. It just makes the day so much less boring, doesn't it? And I hope I don't bore you too much with me chit chat. But that's how I roll. So have a great evening. Stay safe. And I will see you all just before the market opens tomorrow.